Hey guys, it's Flip, and today I'm going to show you how to loosen up a bathroom faucet handle that is sticking due to hard water deposits. So this is a Delta center set bathroom faucet, and I couldn't find any YouTube videos on how to take these specific handles off and clean them and lube them up, so I figured I'd make a quick video on this. So the first thing I did is turn the water off underneath the sink. This isn't absolutely necessary for this little cleaning project, but if anything, it's going to save water and just be on the safe side. Now, some faucet handles come off differently. Some of them have a set screw. Some of them have a base that is threaded on, and you'll just turn that counterclockwise while holding the handle in place until it comes off. With these, you just have to turn the base about a quarter turn counterclockwise and then lift it up while holding the handle in place. Now, these can get pretty stuck if you have a lot of calcification going on in here. So if you can't get it by hand, worst case scenario would be you might have to use a towel and some channel locks. Just be careful that you don't damage the finish. Another little reminder before you start any sink projects like this, just make sure that the sink is closed so that you don't lose anything down there. So these handles have been giving us fits. They're both pretty hard to turn. If you pull on that, it's really sticking. Sometimes this base even pops loose, and because it's so calcified in there, the base kind of turns with the handle, which is not how it's supposed to work. So what we're going to do is take this off, and then we will clean it out and we'll put some grease in there. So to remove the handle, you just grab it and you're going to turn it about a quarter turn counterclockwise and then lift it straight up. Just like that. So you can see how much dirt and grime and hard water deposits I've got going on underneath there. And if you look inside the base of the handle, you can see the same thing. A lot of calcification going on in there. And I'm sure it's the same thing between the base and the handle here. So we're going to take that screw out and take the handle off and grease that in between there as well. But you can see there's some little plastic tabs right here that hold the handle on, which is why you have to kind of put it down at an angle like that, and then you turn it to snap it back into place. And what's happening is the hard water deposits are causing it to all stick together to where when you turn the handle, it's pulling that base out of those plastic tabs, and it's not holding that base in place. So we're going to get this all cleaned up and then put some lube in there. So I'm going to start off just with a rag and some water. You could use some dish soap as well if you wanted. Another option is to use a little mixture of vinegar and water. Fair warning, some of these manufacturers warn that vinegar will damage the finish on these faucets. So it's really up to you if you want to try that to get some of these deposits off. That will work for sure. But some people say not to use that on these finishes. So we're going to start with just a rag and water, and then we'll just go from there. You can use an old toothbrush for this as well. So I'm using a little mixture of about 1-to-1 water and vinegar to help get some of these deposits off. Next thing I'm going to do is take this little flathead screw out of here that's holding the handle on the base, and I just marked each side with a little piece of painter's tape just so I remembered which way the handle is attached to that base, because it does matter based on where that stopper is in there. So let's go ahead and take that off. So the next thing I did is remove this little flathead screw that was in here that holds the handle onto the base. But it looks like it still doesn't actually come off of here. So I'm just going to try to clean this with the handle on it. And then when I put the screw back in, I'm going to put it in not quite as tight. So hopefully that'll help this handle be freed up and spin a little more easily. So I'm going to soak this in a little vinegar water. Again, do this at your own risk. It could damage the finish. So these little tabs in here is what holds on to these plastic clips. right here by the cartridge, and I think this was all just so gunked up in here that they kept slipping free of these tabs and the base kept turning with the handle. So we're gonna get this all cleaned up, and hopefully that does the trick. So I've got some water and vinegar soaking in here, and I can tell you that this has already freed this handle up some, just getting some of that calcification out from inside that base. So hopefully this is all we need to do. The next step would obviously be taking the cartridge out and really getting some lube down in there around the O-rings, but we're going to start with just cleaning out this base in the handle, and hopefully that does the trick. I'm guessing it will, because it's already moving a lot freer. So what I'm going to use to grease this is some Faucet silicone grease, and I've used this in my videos before, and I'll put a link to this under the video if you want to check it out. But since I couldn't get this handle off, I'm just going to kind of put some into the seam here between the base and the handle, and then just kind of work it in there from any angle I can get where these two surfaces meet. Then just work the handle back and forth a little bit to try to grease this pivot point up. So then I'm going to put this screw back in here, just not quite as tight as it was before. And I'm just going to kind of wipe off any excess silicone that may have come out when I put that in there. So now to put this back on, you're just going to slide it on at an angle like this. Then you're going to turn it a quarter turn clockwise. And I can feel that's going into those tabs a lot better without all the gunk in there, and our handle's moving a lot more freely. So we're going to do the same thing to the other side and get that one freed up. It's sticking really bad over here, so get that one freed up. And here I wanted to show you what the other side looked like once I got the handle off. I think this side was even worse than the other side. As you can see here, it's got a ton of mineral deposits going on, so we'll go ahead and get that cleaned up. So hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, please hit the like button for me and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.